Chris Pulver here, just after 3 p.m. Final hour session, July 9th. Tariff deadline. Just kidding. That's August 1st. We are looking at the CNN Fear and Greed Index today. Extreme greed is now officially the measure. When you go back to March, April of 2025, we actually registered extreme fear. Obviously, the market bottomed pretty hard on April 7th and pivoted hard on April 9th. We've been in a melt up ever since. We're at all-time highs in the S&P and the Nasdaq, or close to it, just off all-time highs with the little pause. I do wonder if the all-time highs will continue to be hit, and we'll continue to see more all-time highs, and this melt-up persists, or do we have a pause pullback before the market can kind of maybe accumulate some additional positioning? I think there's some really good technical levels, some pullback levels to be aware of, some moving averages to watch for some major support. I don't know what the cause would be, the why. I know that we have earnings season kicking off here next week with financials. Then you get into the heavier hitters like your Mag 7s, your big tech stocks. Then the market's certainly going to be watching very closely. Is it the type of earnings season that's going to have lots of money thrown into things? Is it going to be like blow off tops that are faded? Is it big aggressive like overshot moves that are well beyond the expected moves? We'll find out. Okay. So anyway, lots going on. But that CNN Fear Index is kind of interesting, and I'll show you. So here's the Fear and Greed Index. We are just registering extreme greed, market momentum in greed territory. This is looking at the 125 moving average and how much farther above it is. On top of that, the 50-day moving average, we are like 300 points above the 50-day moving average, which I thought is quite high. It doesn't happen very often. Extreme greed in stock price strength, new highs and lows in the Nasdaq or the New York Stock Exchange, the net new 52-week highs. The stock price breadth, extreme greed. We are seeing like I think 60. Let me check the what's it S5 FI. There we go. So 50 and 200 day. We have 72% of S&P stocks above the 50-day moving average. We have 78% of Nasdaq stocks above the 50-day moving average. We have 58% of S&P stocks above the 200-day, and we have over 70% of Nasdaq stocks above the 200-day. Nasdaq market breadth is pretty solid. There could still be another push to the upside. Maybe earnings season gets us there. What else? Extreme greed in put and call options. I'm curious. This is last updated July 9th. So that's today. That was 2:51 p.m. Put and call ratios favoring excessive call options right now in the market. That's pretty darn greedy. And also with the VIX at fresh lows, I mean, we hit 15.83. That is low on the day. VIX is down almost 6%, and it's pretty cheap to buy insurance. I mean, if you're happy with a portfolio and you're just going to melt this thing up and ride it to the upside only, then good luck. I think that having at least some type of peace of mind with a 5 or 10% correction to me would make some sense. I think we at least have that coming in the next maybe 30, 60, 90 days. So we'll tell. We'll be able to tell. I mean, I said this in Telegram. I'd be shocked to not see a pullback from now until September, like a meaningful pullback of 5 to 10% somewhere in the S&P, somewhere in the Nasdaq. Market volatility, neutral, safe haven demand, greed, and junk bond demand, extreme greed. So people still liking the high yield, credit spreads, high yield instruments. RAR hit 85 cents. What the heck was that? RARE 30 by 35. Did I just take profit on this thing? I think so. Pinch point scanner just hit profit. Yep, 235 down to 85 cents. Hooray! That is what was that? 30 by 35. Pinch. Let me double check this. Hang on a second. Let me get the scanner here. RARE. Okay, I got it. So the 235 credit closed out for 85 cents. We took a winner there. This is 85-cent debit, keeping a majority of that profit. That is $1.50. So $1.50 divided by 235 is 63.8%. 1.50 divided by 2.35, keeping the profit there. Boom shakalaka. Profit, target, hit. Update this in Telegram. Also pinch point, Telegram. Okay, so we're going pinch point here. Trade management update, RARE, trade number 11. The 35 by 30 bull put spread, 235 credit. That's a 63.8% winner. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. Good, good, good. Nice. Nice move on the old pinch point. All right. That's always fun. Next. Yep, I'm watching it. We're at 62.53 by the end of the session today. In the next 50 minutes, I'd like to see price either come down below 62.50 or make a little run back up towards the intraday highs. So it's kind of annoying that right now I'm going to be sitting in a bit of a drawdown. Here's the trade. So let's go SPX. This one, it's down about 145 bucks. Most I can lose on the trade is what, 420. So that's if I'm in the dead zone by expiration in 48 minutes. But if we get to 62.50 or lower, I can squeak out a little profit here and still grab 80 cents cash settled. Perhaps if I have to wait all the way to close, or if we continue to drift at 62.53, if we can somehow muster a 12-point move. Intraday highs today are around 69. So it's going to be close. Or if we just dip back below 50, here's current price. I mean, I'd love to see price get back below 50. So for right here at 50, and we can get down below it, less than 62.50. If it cash settles, then that's good for 80 cents. So I'll keep an eye on it for right now. We still have 48 minutes. I'm going to ride this thing out a little bit longer. If I can see this during this final hour session and I can trade it for, $30, $40, $50 profit near the close, that's fine. But I'll keep an eye on it. But ideally, I'd like to see this thing back below 62.50 by close. We're closest to that threshold, so let's see if we can push lower than that. The standard play was break even. It's trading for 10 cents. It's in full profit today if you're still hanging on to it. We actually did have a noisy day, but nevertheless a kind of sideways day, like up, down, sideways, kind of right in the middle. But it did come with kind of the ups and down tests and made for a kind of interesting morning. So see if we can squeak out a profit today. What else? It's market breadth. Currency strength was really a nothing burger today. Everything was very choppy in currencies. CAD a little bit weaker, Europe a little weaker, vertical axis very quiet, 30 and 30. Futures market had some excitement this morning with that initial sell-off. Found some support. This is I think that blue line is that's my weekly VWAP. So we came right down to the weekly VWAP and bounced off of that. So we will see. But if anybody's actively trading futures, that had a nice little rollover right around 10 a.m. And I think there was like 20 to 30 points on the ES. That's around 30 points ES and roughly 100 down to 900. So about 170 points, 180 points on the NQ. Not bad. But that was pretty much the move of the day. And then it's just been kind of grinding back ever since. I think I've touched on all the things here for the fear and greed index. We'll keep a close eye on this one. Extreme greed, it doesn't automatically mean the market's contrarian and you need to sell, but what it does mean is I'm cautious going into these highs. It just means a little bit of a pullback, I think, is needed. I think there's some really strong support levels that I'd love to see found, give the market a reason to buy the dip. I mean, those levels aren't that hard. Here's a 50-day moving average. Change the color here. Here is a 50-day moving average. Here's a 100. Here's a 144. Here's a 200. I don't know what the price action is going to do. I would imagine if we have some type of sideways, I mean, maybe it's like a slow melt up, and then this just ends up breaking structure for some type of ABC correction. But I think we at least come back into like this area here or this area here. Probably the more like aggressive bull market would be bouncing right off the 50-day. The more like, kind of scary volatility type trade would maybe be like an 8 to 10% correction, but it bounces right off the 200-day. And if that's the case, like back to highs we go, hopefully, and maybe higher. So the frustrating trade would be this. More of that. Like it's not bad. Obviously, the portfolio benefits from upside. I'm not fighting this market, but it just seems like we're just heading into like bubblish territory if that's where we end up going. So I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping we have at least a bit of a rollover here in the next week or two. So we'll be watching. But 50-day, 100, 144, 200, pretty strong support to be looking to buy. So somewhere in here, looking to buy in position for it. I don't mind the trade. Let me see. I mean, I don't know if I can do something on the SPX right now or the Qs. Let me go Qs. Qs are probably too wide, but if I go SPX, how wide does this go if I want to go to like 48.50? Let me try something here. SPX, let's go out a little bit longer. End of the year, December 31st. Okay, so 48.50. 1, 2, 3. Like that's not a bad income trade. I mean, there's risk in the trade, but we'd have to go all the way back to the lows. 48.50 is like at those lows. So I mean, there's risk in this trade. Probability of profits around 97%. It's defined risk, so even if the market jumps in volatility, I'm going to be okay. I've got a profit trap in here as well. This isn't bad. I think I'm going to take this trade, actually. I'm going to take this trade. Let me see if I can get filled for $1.50. I'm going to try $1.75 first. $1.75, nothing. Let me go $1.65. Mid is 135. How many wide? 50 wide? Okay. Let me see. Maybe cancel that. Let's go 75. So buy, sell, buy. All right. This isn't too bad. Profit trap gives me 15 wide. Yeah, let's see if we get 250 on this trade. 250 not filling, 245, 240. Come on. All right. Filled at 230. Filled at 230. Filled at 230. Filled at 230. Let's go this one here. Okay. So I'll take this trade for Project Options Edge. Get this posted in just a second. We get this in my tracker. All right, so I'm putting on a new trade here for, where are we at? There we go. SPX. This is all accounts. A 12/31 expiration. Buy the 48.90 put. Sell the 48.75 put. That's 15 wide. Buy the 48.50 put, or sell rather. Sell the 48.50 put, and then buy the 47.75 put. 230 credit. Max profit would be the 230 plus $15 profit trap. Max risk would be 1750 minus a 75 wide. So 75 minus 17.30. So 57.70 is max risk. It's about 1.5%. Okay, income trade. All right, daily profit play. We want to cheer this thing on to 62.65. Let's see if we get up to intraday highs. Squeak out a little winner. Okay, nice, Dean. Still got it though. That's good. That did take a while, but glad it worked out. Here's where we're at. I need this to eke out another 5 or 6 points to the upside. Hopefully we get above this red box. We scratched the intraday high. I mean, it'd be nice to see this thing, if we're making a run above this call wall, that we get up to the larger level on the day, which is around 62.75. So can we, inch out a move towards like 62.70, 62.75, maybe for the next, 38 minutes? We keep just kind of grinding higher. Let's see. All right, Project Options Edge. Throw this in. New trade, SPX, 12/31 expiration. Buy the 48.90 put. Sell the 48.75 put. Sell the 48.50 put. Buy the 47.75 put. 230 credit. Mechanically on that trade I took on SPX, we have a 97% chance of profit. Max profit would be 17.30. Max risk would be 57.70. Okay, that trade is in. Okay, so I'll put that one in as 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are waterfalls. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it. Okay. All right, man. Don't finish in this freaking dead zone. Make a move, get to 62, 65. I mean, even if we're closing for fractionals today, if we're at like 62.51, if we're at 62, 63 or 4, at least it's a partial loss. If it's right here in the middle, that's kind of worst case scenario. So let's see what happens. We still have another 35 minutes to go. Maybe the market just kind of ekes out. I've got some levels here that haven't been hit. I mean, these levels haven't been hit today, so a nice little kind of late day run into these intraday highs could be good. We just need to get above 62, 65. So up to 69, up to 75 would be pretty awesome. I don't know if the market's going to do it, but we're about to find out. Okay, that's SPX. Anything else here? Russell, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Something cheap on the Russell would be like a bull call spread, but I'm not going to chase this thing. I'd like a pullback first. Bitcoin's at 110K, so it looks like we're getting some upside momentum there. 110 and change. I saw that Ethereum's up like 7% today. Ethereum is up. Nope, I was off on that. 4.7%. But my EETH is up 5.04. ETHA is up 5%. I bought this yesterday at $19 and change. This was a 1977 entry, so it's already up about $1. And that should be better than nothing. ETHA is here. So up about 1285 from yesterday to today. It's not bad. Let's get up there. I'm looking at like a 50% P&L on this one. That's like getting back to these recent highs. So just bought a bunch of shares and off we go. That was dollar cost averaging level number 1. Okay. Hey, Chris, how are you? Do you think copper tariffs will impact a specific stock in a good way? I don't know. I think the copper thing is so much noise and it's so distorted. I don't really know what to make of it. If anything, on the shorter time frames, I would say if you're really trying to trade copper, I think this is a distorted move. I think it's a one-off that if it comes back up to the highs, maybe this is a chance to sell copper and kind of fade this move. I don't know if it really affects anything in a good way. The first stock I looked at was, FCX. I wonder what that's doing. This is Freeport-McMoRan. This hasn't really done much of anything. On the daily time frame, it's down a little bit, but I've been longing this thing with puts down here. I think my puts are in the 30s. 30, 28, 25 naked puts. So I'm about 73, 74% max profit in this one right now with a high probability of holding that profit to the end of the year. I wouldn't mind taking the assignment. I don't think I have to. I think that we're way out of the money here for even a 30-day or $30 price target. I mean, these are trading at single-digit deltas. So not a high beta stock, not really correlated. Probability of assignment here is like less than 10%. So my copper exposure is I had a copper futures trade. I've taken a couple of those with HG, but yeah, I don't really know. I think it's kind of a one-off move that might have some price disruptions. Dr. Copper looks alive and well, but I think this is jumping for the wrong reasons. This isn't jumping because of a healthy economy. This is jumping because of the tariff. So, I mean, if you go back here on the chart, I mean, I've had this resistance level there, and we actually hit it. So I think at least in the short term, we could still be bullish in copper and hold this support. But I think if we're forming a bit of a top there, that wouldn't be surprised if this move runs up here, gets like really just got overextended and falls a little bit. I do wonder on a wave count, is this a 1, 2, 3? Is this like the pause or pullback for 4? Does copper actually make a fifth wave move? I mean, look, if we're going to see a global melt up, copper is going to go higher. I wish it wouldn't, just because this isn't everything. So if the price of copper is going up, it's going to make things more expensive. Copper's in your cars, copper's in your computers, copper's in your home, copper's everywhere. And I don't know, there could be some supply shock to copper if we have prices that are way too high too fast. right? So anyway, we'll see. Could I do a, let's see, sell, sell. Is that right? Fudge, I kind of stymied myself here. I might take this trade to try to offset my reverse iron condor. This is kind of silly, but if price does not get below 62.50 or get above 62.65, I'm going to take a $400 loss. This one at least lets me recover some of that. Let me see how this plays out. I'm going to try to get filled here for 250. $245. Let's see. So if it's between 55 and 60, that's good. If it's beyond it, I take on some risk. Ugh. I don't know. This could just be like doubling down on the risk, which is probably not great. Let me see. Got to do a. I can't do a. I'm like so stuck on price. I can't even do like a butterfly spread. I was looking at doing like an iron butterfly. Let me try XSP. Maybe I can make this a little bit better here towards the end. Sell that, sell that. Go too wide. Really? It's got to be spot on. So 3 wide and 3 wide. Why is that profit not getting any better? Gross. I was looking for something cash settled. All right, I'm just going to cheer on the reverse iron condor. Come on, man. Let me set a chart alarm right here at 65 on the nose. We got 30 minutes. Let's get a push. We've got some gamma levels above. Let's not hold this 62.60. I've got some other levels here that show some open space. Come on. 62.70, 75. Make a little run. Not that far away. Break even is 62. Basically 62.64 is my break even. So if we can get there or better, we can hopefully get this thing out with a break even. So keep an eye on this on my other screen. Janelle says past there tends to be, yeah, I know. I mean, there always could be. There's always that like last like 10, 15 minutes where the market just kind of jumps. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I've just got to be willing to accept the risk. So we'll find out. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's up. See if MicroStrategy's up as well. MicroStrategy is up to 411. That should be helping out my bull call spreads. MicroStrategy is doing pretty well. Currently up around $41,000. And the bull call spreads looking better, up about $468. Not too shabby. Right there. So up about 127%. This hopefully has room to run into like the 300s and 400s%. I paid $350 for an $11.50 max profit. So I can risk $350 to make 15, which nets me $11.50. That's going to be by the end of the year. So I just need price to stay above $390. It's just getting better. I mean, if this is up over $1,000 before expiration, I'll probably just take the profit. That will help. So not too bad there. All right, cheering this on towards 62.65 if we're going to go up. We're right in the middle right now, so we obviously need to have some type of 25-minute move to see if we go somewhere. But Janelle's right. I mean, the last usually 5, 10, 15 minutes we could have. I mean, it'd be kind of nice to see like just a 10 to 20 point move, get me up into the free and clear zone, grab a couple of bucks. I'm hoping that this outline of my gamma levels, liquidity levels are, hitting the high of the day at 62.70 or getting into my bigger strike at 62.75. But we've got to have some juice behind this thing. It's slow and steady right now. Call option volume is edging out the put option volume a little bit, maybe just a little drift higher. Just get into my levels. Hope free. 62.75. Let's hit a gamma level. You can do it. Nasdaq just fought back all day. ES fought back all day. Watching this on the day. Any daily profit play traders that just took the standard daily profit play strategy worked out quite well today, right back in the middle. Price started here, obviously highs and lows, but came back to it. Settled nicely. Copper, like I said, I think it's a very distorted move. I would be cautious on it. I think a dip is fine. I mean, if let's say this move gets faded, I'm not bearish on copper necessarily, but let's say we have this big rip and price comes back up to test the highs and then fails. Well, that's either a spot to buy again to see if we go higher, or a buy the better trend. Like this has been support, this has been support, this has been support. I mean, if we find it, like we find support, let's buy support. If you're going to fade the top, just do so with a defined risk trade. I can look and see right now on copper futures. Like I don't want to go out super far, but let's see what 5.9 looks like. So if I go out to August 26th, 5.9. I mean, what's that profit? $200. That's not a bad play. It's like for the next 48 days, does copper break these highs? I'm risking about $1,000 to make on the credit side about $225. On the profit trap side, about $14.87. But it's like I don't know what copper wants to do. Are we going to keep going higher? Maybe the better trade is to kind of wait and play this mechanically. If we come back to hit the high, then maybe waiting to sell that and fade that. Yeah, Maddie, it's been good, man. Yeah, but you can't though. Like 15 wide is about as narrow as I can get it, Sandeep. Like 15 wide to pull in. I mean, if I did like, if I create like a 10 wide, I'm essentially getting like $5.20. So I'm risking $4.80 to make 20 cents. Like that's a terrible trade. If I'm going 15 wide, I can usually get like 80 cents to maybe $1. So I'm risking about $420 to $400. It's hard to get less than 15 wide though in that dead zone. But it's also, if you think about it, like it's hard for the market to finish within a 15-point dead zone too. I mean, we're going to see, I mean, the points on the day, it's like the market's moved like 60 points today, right? High, low. I mean, the market moved 38 points today. So it's certainly contained, but do we have enough to get, 5 points higher? Maybe the intraday high is at 69, maybe. I mean, we are just kind of slowly climbing higher. A little bit of a gamma squeeze towards the upside would be great for these last 22 minutes. 15 wide is not that big. Like it's very doable. So let's see how it plays out. That's why I have the chart alarm set at my break even. Okay, so we're not there yet, but I'm gonna watch and see. Like right now, I'm down about $180. Max risk is 420. So it's manageable. Obviously, it's not a huge loss. It's something I can certainly fight back from for a couple of days of trading. But if we can squeak out a gain to 62.65, I can get this thing to settle in at a break even or better. And if it's at 62.60.01, it cash settles and I actually get $80 on the trade. So that's a possibility too. So we'll see what it does. All right, I'm going to try to close this thing at 5.20 and just try to close it out manually. Otherwise, it's going to cash settle. But hopefully we make a nice little gamma squeeze up to 70 and 75, and that should give us some profit. And we still have 20 minutes, so another just steady run or just a big 5 or 10 point move would be great. Okay, copper, I'm going to set a chart alarm just off the high. I might consider trade here like 5.9, 5.89. So we just come back and retest the highs, 5.88. There. So like I'm saying, on the shorter time frame, if we have, this rip, pullback, comes back to test the highs, fail, just trying to keep that below. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, this could be a sign of like copper's still postured well. It's easier to run with the momentum versus not. I just think it's going to be there's going to be some trickery to it. So probably not going to do anything silly on it. More for entertainment purposes, I guess. MicroStrategy doing really well. I'd like to see that one get me closer to $900 to $1,000 of profit. I'll take some profit there. Micron, I want to take a look at that one. Micron's pretty sideways. This is out to next summer, but looking to see if we get to all-time highs. Same thing, paid $280 to make 15. So similar trade as what I did on MicroStrategy. It's an out-of-the-money bull put spread, or bull call spread rather. And I paid $280 to make 15, so I can net $12.20, which I'd be happy with. Risk $280 to make $1,220. It's a pretty good reward to risk if we get back to these highs. BTC, yeah, Bitcoin's up to 110 plus. Wow, Bitcoin making a surge, huh? I had a chart alarm going off on my phone, 110, now up to 111. So my trades on IBIT running, honestly, this momentum overnight might get us to fresh highs in Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin's doing pretty well for me. Exposure, Ethereum, both Ethereum and, so here is, Bitcoin up around 3 grand. Let's go all accounts here. So, IBIT, ETHA. So ETHA is up around $1,400. That was literally a trade I took yesterday. So it's up about $1,500 right now. And then IBIT is doing pretty well. It's up around $62,000. So we've got some good looking gains on Bitcoin. I'm not trying to cover Bitcoin. I think at this point, if we're going to make a high and make a run, let's go, baby. Let's get this thing off and running. Let's get Bitcoin to catch up a little bit. I've got a measure move out here towards 133. Obviously I'm going to protect the downside, but this is something I'm going to be willing to hang on to. If we have Bitcoin going, up to down, it could be that type of pullback or it could be that type of pullback. But either way, maybe some profit taking up here in the 130 handle, maybe a full move towards the 145 area before we get a pullback and just see how technical it behaves. But yeah, so far so good. Let's see if we crack the highs. 112, 225. Chart alarm is set. Today's a nice little pop. We're up 2.25%. So not too bad. Up $2,400 today. And that's bringing all the stuff with it. BITO is even creeping up there, which I'm sitting in, almost like a yield max on BITO. I didn't dump these shares yet, but I'm not super pumped about them. I own BITO. It's at $21.45. I own it at $26. Honestly, if I get this thing back up to like $28 to $30, $28 to $30 is way back here. I've got to clear this high. I don't know if I'm going to get this thing all the way back to highs because the way this thing is structured. There's a monster dividend on this. It's basically we're going down, but we're still getting a crazy amount of yield. The last 3 months, it's up 20%. Year to date, it's down 9%. It has its trade-offs, but my goal is to get out of BITO with some profit Once it's like net positive, I'll probably take that capital, which is a decent amount. I mean, I'm all into this for about $21,000. So if I take that $21,000, I can spread that into probably more Bitcoin, but use like a FBTC or an IBIT instead. I don't like BITO at all. It doesn't look like the spot price. I don't want to trade it. Like once I realized we're separating from like spot price correlation, I was way less interested in BITO, but I'd already committed enough capital. I'm like, well, I'll enjoy the yield. I'll see what's net positive and just give it a chance. But anyway, downside here on Bitcoin. Yeah, I did that with IBIT. So my IBIT positions, I bought $45 puts out to the end of the year. So I've got a 45 long put hedge. It cost me like $2.50 to take that trade. So for $250, I can protect my position. So I'm in for probably, I don't know, 3,000 shares. So I bought basically 3,000 shares worth of protection. So it cost me a couple grand, but it's there if I need it. And if it doesn't, it's a small, tiny sacrifice. That's a fraction of 1%. And I can certainly let that go. Yeah. But out of the money puts are pretty good for that. Okay. All right. 58. Come on, man. Not looking good for the old reverse iron condor today. That's stupid and annoying. Darn it. So my max risk will be 420. If we get in, so the nice thing here is if we're at 62, 61, or 2, or 3, or 4, it's a fractional loss. So in order for me to take a full loss today on that reverse iron condor, it'd have to be below 62, 60. So if we're just going to keep inching higher, chart alarm set right here at break even. If we can just get here the last like 14 minutes, then we'll squeak out maybe a break even or better. If we somehow try to finish the day near the highs, even better. If we're at 6265.01, I can make $80 on the trade. So it's potentially I don't know, potentially a fight day. But if I lose, fine. It sucks, but what do you do? You took the trade, and I mean it was fine. Like intraday, it was fine here. Intraday, it was fine here. I didn't protect the profit, so that's on me. But if we can just get up here another 5 points, we can get this thing at break even or better. All right, chart alarms are set. Bitcoin might be cracking some highs overnight. This thing trades 24/7, so we might hit some fresh highs in Bitcoin. I'd say the next thing to watch would be what happens to price at these highs. Do we, hit the highs and reject, or do we hit the highs and actually have like another day or so higher? If we're up to some fresh highs in Bitcoin, it could be some game on, and we might get a squeeze running. There's a lot of sell pressure and a lot of selling calls on Bitcoin related ETFs. If that sell pressure is cleared, we could have that squeeze. We could have that run to 125, 130 is kind of my measured move. So I don't know. This could get a little bit more exciting. But I'm still kind of prepared for, okay, we test the highs, we fail, we come back and revisit lows. It's a range trade. I still like the upside. I still like the upside at 130, 140, 150. But maybe this is running alongside the big, beautiful tax bill, weaker dollar, higher inflation, fiat hedge, all sorts of things. And let's find out. So, all right, 12 minutes for the close. I'll be here all the way until the close. Let's see what happens to that reverse iron condor for daily profit play. I need literally 5 more points. We get it. Let's get some profit. So Janelle, I'm relying on you. You've been observing those last 10 minutes. Let's see it. Let's get another 5 or 10 point move. I'm hoping that this 6260 level that I have on my charts is not going to be enough of a wall to hold. I'm hoping that this liquidity play and this gamma level holds out better, where we have some open space. Okay, if we hold out here, try to get a run back to the highs. Buy ETHA over IBIT, looking at a leap. No, I'm definitely not. I'm not taking Ethereum over Bitcoin unless it's a short-term trade. Like I bought ETHA this week. I bought it yesterday, in fact, at $19.77. My target on ETHA is just a catch-up trade. So I think in the interim, you look at Ethereum. Ethereum's making a pretty good run. This is why I bought it, because we had a nice swing, nice consolidation. We're on the right side of the trend line. We pulled back to a 5-0 pullback zone. I think this makes a rip into 127, makes a rip into the 618, possibly retesting these highs. This is my profit target on Ethereum. I can hold it all the way to 4,800, which is all-time highs in Ethereum. But for my trade on ETHA, oh, son of a biscuit. Did I get filled in that freaking SPX trade? You stupid ass. Damn it, I meant to cancel that trade. Shit. All right, hang on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, close. So filled at 245 credit, close at $2. All right, so I just took 45 bucks out of that trade. That was fast. That was fast, actually. That was crazy. So I got filled at 245, close it for $2. That's a 45-cent winner. But I'm still in that reverse iron condor that might close for a. Got filled at 580. Gosh darn it. So if we're below 52.60, that's max risk. Come on. 9 minutes to go. Don't be a turd. That trade's pretty wild. What were my sell levels? Sell at 55, sell at 60. So I need that between 55 and 60. That was close. It's fine. I took a 45% winner there. That does help alleviate some of the loss. So I'll be, I was break even on the iron condor today. So 420 is my max minus the 45 cents I just made. My max risk today is 375. If I lose on SPX today, I'm netting 375 to the downside. You win some, you lose some. Could be worse. But Larry, there you go, man. Larry says bought the $20 ETHA 919 call up 21%. Very nice. Yeah, I just wasn't trying to time it. That's why I didn't do call options. I looked at a ratio spread. I looked at a 1-1-1. I looked at naked puts. To me, it was actually more cost effective just to buy the underlying. So what I did on ETHA is I bought the underlying at 1977. So right in here. And then I put in another position here at 1150. So 1, 2, if it goes up to the highs, that's around a 50+% profit target. And I'm happy taking profit there. So yeah, let's cheer it on. Okay, currency strength still choppy on the day. This is my dead zone. This is so annoying. Couldn't even clear we did, like we cleared the highs, we cleared the lows, but unfortunately even going into the FOMC today just kept drifting. So it was just a range trade. Yesterday was all range, today's all range. A little bit more volatile today, but still range bound. High to low about 40 points. Yep, about 38 points from high to low today. Final 7 minutes. At this point, I'm just kind of asking for the market to get me a run back into like 61 or 62 to reduce the size of that loss. I don't think we're getting to 65, and I certainly don't think we're getting to 50. I don't know. I've seen wilder things happen in 7 minutes, so we'll find out. Do we hit that high? Maybe. Do we get down to like 55 or lower? I'll set this as an alert here. Okay, we'll see. Yeah, I hope so too. If I make 50% on that one, Larry, you're probably going to be up a lot more than I am. However, your expiration is out to September, and that's it. Like you just went out to this September. So ETHA, this September out 72 days. You definitely want to see that thing rip then, man, because you have about 36 days to really get the profit that you want. I don't know if we're going to make a 50% run in 30 days. But, you got profit already. stop loss at break even or better wouldn't be a terrible crime. And hopefully with this type of momentum, if we're going to hit all-time highs on Bitcoin, maybe there's some Ethereum catch-up. So I would just say, manage that call option pretty aggressively, just to make sure you're not letting the time decay work against you. Okay. All right. Now we're at 61. Now I'm reducing the size of that risk. Let's go, baby. Come on, get above that gamma level. Don't be a turd. You can do it. You can get to 70 today. You can get to 69 today. We need it above 65. Come on, candle. Give me some green. There we go. There we go. Okay. Janelle's my lucky mascot. Let's go right here. It's gonna be quick. It might be a cash settled close. Watching on the other screen, we're at 63. Come on, baby, 65. You can do it. We're almost break even. Just to be probably smart, I should just set this thing at break even. I'll try to be a responsible trader, set it at break even. However, I will be annoyed if it gets up to 62, 65 and change, and I could take a full $80 out of it. But I'm trying to be safe. Break even on the day is not a bad thing. 63. Come on, you guys can do it. Get up there. High of the day is 69. Try to tap those highs. Let's go. That's right. Let's go. All right, final 4 minutes. Come on, bulls, give it a push. Your intraday high is right there. You got open gamma levels. Let's go, man. So it's not a full risk. I mean, I can stomach that. I'm down about $120 right now. I mean, honestly, the smarter trade would be just to get out of the trade. Like, take a $100 loss and move on. But it's just the price is going to move so fast here in the next 4 minutes. Let's see what it does. 64, you a-holes. High was 60, just under 64. 63.85. Come on, bulls. 3 minutes. Let's go. Mid price is 725. 685, 690. Let's go. Push higher, push higher. 3 minutes to go. Come on. Just make me feel a little bit better. Get to 64, would you? Get to 64, get to 65. Give me a break even. 3 minutes to settle. Come on, bulls. I'm glad I grabbed that 40 cents. That was an accidental trade. Okay, 62.54. 62.40, 62.30. Push, push, push. 62.81, 63. Come on, baby. Get up there. At this point, I'm gonna roll the dice here and see if I can get this thing just a hair above that 62.65. If it is, all I need to do is be cash settled above 62.65 for my full 80 cents. Did we just hit it, Maddie? Thought I had a chart alarm at 112. Okay, let me just watch the close here. Trading at $7, 675, 670, 665. All right, so we're at 63.27. Let's go, let's go, let's go. One minute. I'm gonna try to get out of here at 80 before the market closes. All right, so I got stopped out for $1. So I'm down $1. Let's see where the rest settles. I'm going to do the exact cash settle here in the next like 2 minutes. 675, 670, 675, 660, 7 and change, 735. We've got 1 more minute. We're at 62.90, 63.02. Closing bell. We're down to 62.18. All right, I think I saved myself a couple of bucks there, maybe. We'll see. 62.27. I've got a 63.34. It's down about $1.70. So that's, yeah, I mean, I might have saved myself about 20 bucks if I just let it cash settle. If that is accurate, 62.63. So my trade was 62.65 minus 80 cents. So, oops, 62.50 minus 80 cents. So, what the hell, dude? 62.65 minus 80 cents. There. So I needed 62.64.20. That's my break even. Okay. If we actually cash settled here at 62.63, 62.63.35, I would have been down $85. I closed out at $1. So I'm going to update this here. I took $100 loss on it. No, it's fine. But it should have cash settled for something. I'll just share it here in my daily profit play. So daily profit play. All right, end of day settle for SPX closed per tasty trade at 6263.28. Our SPX break even is 6264.20. This would settle for net loss of 0.85. I closed 1 minute before market close for 6.80 debit, minus $1. I snuck in an accidental, it really was accidental, 45-cent winner on an iron butterfly. So net on the day was a small loss of $55. All right, certainly could have been worse, but it is what it is. So that's where we're at. This shows a 6263.25. That's on TradingView. Tasty showing a 6263.26. My dynamic trend showing 6262.27. So somewhere in there, cash settling for, probably about an 80 cent to $1 loss. But we're close. It could have been way worse. I mean, it could have been right here in the middle for a max 420 loss and coming out of here with, less than $50 on the downside. Like, I'll survive that. Easy peasy. So anyway, tomorrow's a new day. We'll come back and tackle it again tomorrow for Thursday. All right. Bullen says just bought Practical Options, quick guide, big one next time. Good. Keep me posted on the feedback. Let me know how you like it. Practical Options, absolutely. So we've got the quick options guide for $27. Let me see if we have my website's up and running yet. Not yet. All right. I'm working on a website, chrispulvertrading.com, that should have all of my, on-demand everything, on-demand webinars, services, what I'm doing, schedules, webinars, buy order page, whatever. Like I'm hopefully building that out here with Prosperity Pub in the next, maybe the next month. So I'll keep inquiring about that. Practical options, like Blent said, $27 for the quick guide, intro and guide walkthrough, buying calls, buying puts, bullish spreads, bearish spreads. Very dangerous way to trade in a good way. Like you are dangerous if you go through this quick guide, understanding how you can benefit in the market up, down, sideways. Learn the vocabulary, learn some directional plays, learn how to establish a line in the sand, learn how to do the simple math and where your option trades are for break evens or better. And then from there, my full guide, my full practical options course has, I think, 11 videos, 13 different strategies, and a lot more in depth, and all of my kind of go-to favorite strategies. There's probably 4 or 5 hours in the full course. There's almost 2 hours in this one. But yeah, I mean, I'm here to help. I hope this kind of wets your whistle and gets you all excited about, oh my gosh, options are incredible. And here's why. It's hopefully not too difficult to understand. I'm trying to teach everybody every step of the way, trying to make it as simple as possible. And look, even if it's not simple to you, it's okay. Like, I know that the concepts are basic enough that just let's review the material, ask me questions. That's why I have a Discord. That's why I have these services. Um, I think that once you can wrap your head around some options trading, you're going to like what you can do with your portfolio. You truly can trade the market up, down, sideways. You can capitalize on a lot more leverage. You can put way less capital at risk and actually place trades in the market in bullish and bearish environments. You can hedge your portfolio better. You can protect the downside better. You can speculate and leverage the gains to the upside. Options to a retail trader, in my opinion, if done correctly with some really key strategies here, could help you like revolutionize your trading. I was, I was always kind of like portfolio protection, covered calls, basic income stuff. The last 10 years in options, it was the last probably 6 or 7 years where it's like, learn as much as I can, all these different strategies, up, down, sideways, and it's changed everything about how I trade, and certainly for the better. So now risk management is as good as it's ever been. The ability to generate more return with way less risk, as good as it's ever been, and I owe a lot of that to just the basic popularity of options. I mean, it's ridiculously popular, but unfortunately, I see a lot of people that just buy calls and buy puts, and that's fine. But you have to know what time decay looks like, and you have to know that time is not your friend when you're buying options. You have to be right quickly if you're buying options, whether you're buying puts or buying calls. Spreads are some of my favorites, and you can certainly go from very basic to way more advanced. To give you a little sneak peek here, this is a website that I use when I build some of my strategies. There's a lot here to unpack, right? I mean, all the risk. Like, look in the bottom right here. Look at this risk graph. Okay, at first it took me months to understand like what this all means. But if you ever have any questions on this stuff, I go through this in my practical options. What's the risk graph looks like? Where's the line in the sand? Where do I make money? Where do I lose money with these trades? So anyway, that's what it's there for. So if you're interested, there's a $27 starter course in practical options. And if you want to upgrade, there is a full course available that I want to say you can just get it in. There's quick options and there's practical options. Fudge, where's it at? Practical options. No, I'll find it. It's in here somewhere. There we go. Practical options full course. There we go. So this is a full thing. Introduction, key terms, risk graphs, options chain, strategy guide, buy calls, buy puts, spreads, calendar spreads, butterfly spreads, strangles, and iron condors, which are directionally neutral. So directional strategies, non-directional strategies, plus all the key stuff of like learning about a risk graph, what it looks like, line in the sands. There it is. So again, if you want, just sharing information. Okay, would be nice if your alerts can be posted there too, as Discord is real. I don't post alerts in Discord, Ag. The only trades I post in Discord are for Pulver alerts. All my trades in Prosperity Pub are in Telegram. So daily profit play, bonus trades in my big Chris Pulver Telegram, pinch point scanner, which I just did today. We had a winner on pinch point scanner for about a 63% credit spread. Where'd it go? Project Options Edge took a new trade here. It's all in Telegram. Pinch point, there it is, winner. So it's all in Telegram. Okay. All right. Yep, good stuff. Okay, very good. Yep. So I'm gonna keep tapping into the team. Like, hey, ChrisPulverTrading.com. When's it up and running? I kind of want to help organize it. Make sure I've got some on-demand stuff on there, like my latest webinars, my latest updates, some of my blogs, analysis, stuff like that. I'd like to make it pretty living, like pretty organic, and that way, if you ever need one of my services or want to learn more, want to watch a webinar on it, it's all there for you to review. And if you want to join in my services, like I am here. So. Gotcha. Yeah, it's that's through Discord. Wish it was on Telegram, but it's Discord. That's the Pulver alerts. Got it. Okay, everybody. Let's come back, do it again tomorrow. Have a good rest of the day. Thanks for being here. Bye.